Hey guys, Stephen Bogren here, Pro Physique. Today I want to answer the question of what league should you compete in? So hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today's question comes from Kelsey Ellis, one of my clients competing in NPC. And the topic comes from Brendan Wattis, right? Another really great natural bodybuilder and good coach. If you don't know him, does great work. Look at Sam and essentially Mr. and Mrs. Meat from the Core Nutritional America Labs cruise. He made a post on Facebook and it was talking about, why would you want to go compete against untested individuals as a natural or lifetime natural athlete? And obviously it's an interesting question. It definitely brings up some thoughts. And I thought obviously it would be something cool to talk about. So now, I think for me, where you compete definitely depends on what division are you competing in. If you are a bikini athlete, you can compete wherever the fuck you want. You can compete wherever you want as a natural and still be successful. You can still do well. You can still be competitive. Now, as a male or as, doing women's, say, figure, I think you can still do well. You can even go pro as a natural. If you have really great genetics, good structure, you can make it, absolutely. Women's physique, now we're changing pace, right? So if you want to stay natural and compete in women's figure or women's physique, you might want to cater towards the natural leagues if competition, placement, that stuff is important to you, right? Men's classes, you really got to have genetics. I would say men's bodybuilding, like you're in a weight class, so that automatically kind of evens the playing field a little bit there, right? Now, are you going to win an overall as a bantamweight? It's probably not super likely, right? I'm probably not very likely to win an overall as a men's bodybuilder in an untested show. Now, I've won an overall in a natural league show. Hence why I have my natural pro card. So very different there, right? Now, that doesn't mean I can't be competitive within my weight class. But overall and at nationals, it might be a little bit different, right? It's a different story. Now, what about classic physique? Classic physique, height and weight class. Genetically, I am not filling out my weight class for my height for classic physique. I'm about 25 to 30 pounds under my weight limit when I'm stage lean. That's just the truth of it. At 5'10" and a half, I need to be low 170s, really probably closer to 170, even maybe high 160s. That's where I need to be for my stage weight to be shredded. I was 174 on stage last time, right? I had some glute striations, right? 172 was my lowest weigh-in of that prep. Like I said, I probably needed to be around 169, 170. And that's just the truth of the matter. It just is what it is. So, classic physique, I might do well at a regional show. I might do well at a local show for an untested league. It depends who shows up. And so I can still go there and compete. The competition is most likely going to be higher, right? Untested divisions, people do what they want to do. It brings more people. Great. Okay? And so it's just what you have to know. So if your desire is to have more difficult competition, maybe it makes sense to go to some of those untested federations or leagues, compete there, right? Because some of those people, let's be real, stuff works. Yeah, it does. Does that mean it's for everybody? Absolutely not. It's obviously not for me. You can see by my very modest, normal looking physique. But if you want more competition, as a male or as a female bodybuilder, physique athlete, maybe even figure athlete sometimes, maybe it makes more sense to go there, right? Now, if you want an even playing field, you want to know that everybody's, following the same rules, everybody's a natty, living that natty life, go to the natural leagues. One of the big things that I find in differences is promoters. Untested federation, they pretty much have everything pretty across the board. Most of the shows are run reasonably smooth, especially here in Florida. You know what to expect for judging, even for bikini. Like, that can be the hard one a lot of times, right? So it's a little bit more, I think the criteria is established a little bit better there. And that can make a big difference too. It can be a better experience sometimes, right? If the shows run smoothly and you're not sitting backstage like being told, hey, get in line, get ready to pump up, and then you're just an hour till you're on stage and have a bunch of other stuff going on. Like, that can account for a lot, right? Because enjoying the experience is really important too. I've found some of the natural shows, things can be off. I've had a show where the night before I was told, pre-judging was getting moved from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Well, whoops, my meal timing's off, right? Not to mention stress and all the other stuff that goes along with that. Don't get me wrong, I would have lost anyways. It doesn't matter. The guy that beat me, better. More conditioned, just better than me, right? But like, that's not a fun show. That's not a great experience to have as an athlete. Now, whether the promoter had any control over that, and like, that's planning stuff, right? So I would say the promotion matters for shows as well, in terms of, are you going to enjoy it? Now, there are some really, really great natural league shows that are promoted really well. The promoters care. They put a lot of time and effort and planning into their shows. And those are still great, phenomenal shows to do, and a level playing field for you if you're a natural athlete. However, I've seen many natural shows, and this goes in between leagues, and where the promoters don't do as good of a job. They don't pay attention to the details. They don't, really prioritize the athletes having a great time and having it as a great experience for the athletes. And so that shows in the experience, and that shows in people are going to continue doing those same shows. Now, again, if all you care about is a trophy, maybe you don't care about the experience. Maybe you don't care if the shows run smoothly, or if you're getting kicked out here and there, or if it's in the middle. Maybe that stuff doesn't matter to you. But for me, I've done a lot of shows. I have some trophies, right? If I really want a trophy, I can go buy a trophy for $40. It doesn't matter. Whatever. I want the experience. Like, I want to go in, I want to have a smooth running show, I want to be able to hang out backstage and chill, not be harassed, I want to have a good timeline, I don't want to have to be there till 2 in the morning, like, all that kind of stuff. And yes, bigger shows, untested, I've seen shows go to 2 in the morning. However, those people aren't running shows anymore, okay? So there's a lot that goes into picking your shows where you can compete, where you should compete, right? If being a natural, competing against other naturals, and only competing against naturals is important to you, compete in a natural league, absolutely. If you don't care that much, go compete in whatever league you want. I mean, I do it. Have I competed in an untested league in a while? Now it's been probably 3 years, but I will do untested shows again in the future as a natural athlete. I'll also do natural shows. It doesn't matter to me. I'm not super concerned about it. Because at the end of the day, for me, I've been doing this for a while. It's me versus me. I just want to bring a better physique. Do I know that I'll never go and be an IFBB pro as a natural athlete? Yeah, I don't have the genetics for it, first and foremost. But it's just not, it's not in the cards for me. That's fine. I don't care. But it's still a big deal for me to go and to do well at an untested show, or to win it over. Like, those are still goals, right? And you can do that. Does it depend on who shows up? Yeah, absolutely. But it's doable. Like, Paul did it. Paul won in overall last year. It was awesome. As a lifetime natural athlete, that's great. So I don't think that it's fair to necessarily say that you should only compete in natural leagues if you're a natural athlete. And I'll take that to powerlifting too. I compete, my entire history of competition has been in an untested league in powerlifting. And I've got medals, I've placed, right? So at the end of the day, I think what will determine this for you is, what are your goals? What division are you in? Obviously, like I said, bikini, I don't think it matters. Honestly, I like when there is a very set criterion for what they're looking for. I feel like maybe some of the untested leagues have a better set criterion for that. The other, for guys and for maybe possibly figure and definitely women's physique and such, it matters. Yes, absolutely it matters. But what matters to you? And that's what you have to figure out and decide. Doesn't matter where you compete can compete anywhere. There's nothing wrong or right with either choice. It's just what's wrong or right for you. So that is my opinion on where you should compete, guys. Kelsey, hope you enjoyed the video. Everybody else, I guess I hope you enjoyed the video.